fellow Ambazonians, dear countrymen, despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream.
A place we can surely call home.
At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance.
The land of our forebears.
A place we can surely call home.
A few years ago, a vicious dictator declared war on our sovereign nation of Ambazonia. It is a war we did not seek nor provoke, but are determined to muster every strength we can harness and continue sending the message to our enemy that we have risen to call home.
We have paid dues for everything. We pay tax for goods we buy. We pay fuel in our cars. We pay hospital bills and the dues for all other sacrifices.
I can give all I have for the one hope that I have.
Because I hate my CID. I'm a proud Amazonian.
Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of her enemies.
Independence will be but days away if we get it right with our CID.
My dear comrades, I am appealing to every Ambazonian to register with the CID program.
We have no control over our distorted history, but with our CID, we can set the pace and determine the future of Ambazonia.
Yes, the hope for the future is in our hands. As an Ambazonian, my identity is conclusive. My right is guaranteed. My vote will always count as I pay my CID.
As an Ambazonian, I will shape the future with my CID.
With your CID of just $10 per month, the interim government is contract to fulfill all that you wish to be done.
Let us build a freedom mansion from the little blood, which is our CID levy.
There will be food for everyone, hope for every child, justice for every citizen when we pay our CID levy.
Yes, the dream we can realize. With my compulsory independence dues, CID, I have the opportunity to give to the next generation a greater nation, better than we inherited.
Yes, CID program is freedom made easy, freedom made cheap, freedom for Amazonia now.
the land. My papa's land. My papa's land. Africa, my papa's land. Now, hear me. We are no fools on the hill. My people are no fools on the hill. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land. I want to know who owns the land. Aslan, hey, Papa's land. Papa's land. Papa's land. Must be free.
Hello and good evening, fellow Ambazonians. It's a pleasure to be with you today, and we continue to ask the question. We want to know who owns the land. We want to know who owns the land. Talking about the territory that we today refer to as Ambazonia, formerly known as the British Southern Cameroons. It's a privilege to come to you today, and I want to believe that all of you on ground zero and ground one, you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend in spite of what all of you are going through out there. Again, on ground zero and on ground one. I want to welcome all of you also who are joining from the diaspora, talking about all of Europe, including the United Kingdom. Of course, the continental USA, including Canada and all of South America, plus those in Asia tuning in, watching ABC Ambazonia TV live with the anchor man. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We got so much to talk about tonight, a lot of exciting things to bring to you tonight, and I can report to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the state of our revolution, the state of our struggle cannot be any stronger as than we have today. And it's all because of you especially if you are on ground zero. This is very, very important, because if you on ground zero give up, the struggle is over. You are the anchor on which every other thing else revolves. You are the anchor. Every other thing else about this struggle revolves around you. We want to thank you for your tenacity, for your courage and resilience in spite of the hardship, the pain, the kidnapping, the abduction, the ransoms, the torture that you all go through on ground zero, not to talk about the economic hardship, some of you without jobs for years now, and just not knowing what to do, surviving by the day. We appreciate you. We thank you. God bless you all. Listen, only perseverance can yield the fruit of our labor. And so we ask that you continue. You just continue to persevere. There is a saying that at the end of every tunnel, there is always light. And I can assure you, coming from within this circle here at the interim government, there will be light. There will be light at the end of this tunnel, the tunnel of this struggle. We can only get better as we do. We are getting better. I listened to Dieudonné Nsomba yesterday, and I believe many of you have listened to what he said. I really don't understand French, but I got it interpreted. Thank those of you out there who are translating it into English and giving some of us the understanding of what you are saying out there. I heard him say that we are only getting better. We started with machetes as some will call it, or cutlasses. And some say we started with stones, and that is true. Remember those huge rubber stones? You see the images out there. We started with that, ladies and gentlemen. And we have then tried to do a lot until slowly but surely we are getting there. Some people called me and said, you know, we didn't want to support the struggle because of what happened to my trip to Boya. In fact, somebody called me this morning and was making that case. And I said to him, gentlemen, we got to understand this. None of us came into this thing understanding exactly what we were going into. We have learned in the course of the process, and going by what we see today, we are only making progress. We are not faltering. We are learning and making amends, adjustments, and that is why you see what you see on ground zero now. We went into my trip to Boya. We raised him a little good chunk of money. It wasn't a lot. $800,000 is not money that you use to prosecute a war like this one. But of course, many mistakes were made. We learned from it. We picked up from there. And I think we are doing better today, ladies and gentlemen. And we can only continue to do better. From rubber stones to cutlasses to odeshi to den guns. We are talking about revolvers today, automated weapons. And La République du Cameroon is scared to death. And I am glad that their own people are beginning to speak it to their own ears. I just wish they will listen to the sanity of Dieudonné Nsomba. One man. I may not agree with his stance about federation or confederation, but Dieudonné Nsomba, ladies and gentlemen, has been very, very consistent from day one. In fact, I believe if La République du Cameroon technocrats had listened to him from the onset, we won't be where we are today. Not at all. We won't be where we are today. Dieudonné Nsomba is one man that has continued to speak wisdom, speak knowledge, speak common sense into the ears of those who will care to listen in La République du Cameroon. Unfortunately, going to 5 years, no one has yet listened to him. So, but I am saying this to say that we are only doing better, and even people on the side of La République du Cameroon can see that we are only doing better. And I believe La République hasn't called off this war only because of the shame factor that is involved in calling it out. I believe they are like, how do we call it out? How do we end it? We started it. How are we going to end it? What are we going to tell them? We are a country. We are a nation. How can we surrender? Where would we keep the shame to surrender in the front of terrorists, as they, like to call us? But call it, ladies and gentlemen, they must call it. Somebody asked me a question yesterday and said, what is it going to take you guys to declare a ceasefire? And I said, we are never going to declare a ceasefire for a war we did not declare. We did not declare this war, and so at no moment, it will be stupidity that you have soldiers with their camps in our territory, and they are not yet out, and somebody would expect us to declare a ceasefire when those camps and that invading military is still in our territory. Of course not. We are not going to declare a ceasefire because we did not call for war in the first place. We walked on the streets with palm trees, asking for peace, declaring peace. And they released gunship helicopters upon us. They released their soldiers into our territory. They raped our women, raped our sisters, raped our mothers, burnt down our towns and our villages, sent away our children out of schools, burnt down hospitals, and we had to, our boys had to resort to arms to defend our women, to defend our children, to defend our parents, and to defend the territory. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone too far. We've gone too far to even think about a ceasefire. Anybody discussing a ceasefire, I will call that person a traitor. Any person who says he or she is fighting for the independence of Ambazonia and goes ahead to declare any form of ceasefire, you eat with a long spoon, with that person. La Republique declared war, and we must continue to take this war back to them. All right. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for those of you joining by way of the social media, Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Please go ahead, hit your share button, ladies and gentlemen. We are entering a very, very important week, ladies and gentlemen. I am talking about the draft. The draft. We are beginning the drafts this weekend, and we are starting with Bowie County. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting with Bowie County this weekend. Of course, all the routes this weekend lead to Bowie County. And I like to say this. Bowie County has done a spectacular job. A very spectacular job in the course of this struggle. There are 3 counties, ladies and gentlemen, that stand out in the course of this war. You have Bowie, you have Lebielem, you have Ngo-Ketunjia, and I will tell you why. And everybody out there believes, I guess you understand what I'm talking about. These have been the hotbeds of this struggle. If these 3 counties were not there, La Republique du Cameroon would have long declared victory, and called for a truce. But because of Bowie, Lebielem, Ngo-Ketunjia, and to an extent, of course, Manu, Fako, which other place else? I think this other 2. La Republique has not been able to declare any form of victory. But I'm saying this to say that I've heard some people, somebody called me this morning and said, he's from Mezam, by the way. He called me this morning and said, my people, my leaders have not been able to show us what they are doing with a draft from last year. He was saying, nothing is happening to his local government in Bamenda too, precisely. And he is right, ladies and gentlemen. I have said it here before. I am disappointed with Mezam, particularly those inner cities, LGAs like Bamenda 2, Bamenda 3, and the rest. These are the LGAs that drafted the most amount of money in the last draft. But it is unfortunate that we've seen almost nothing. Nkwem has become the heaven for blacklegs and traitors, in where you have all the brasseries, products being sold. They disobey Ghost Town, and yet these are the LGAs that raised the most money in last year's draft, and yet you don't see nothing. And so this guy was complaining, I really don't know what to do. I really don't know where to draft, because I don't want to go back and put my money there. And I said to him, listen, if you really don't have to draft for them, please do not fail to draft for other counties. There are counties like Bowie who are doing the best job, ladies and gentlemen. Please, this is the week. Nobody has an excuse. Do not say, in my LGA, I don't see anything. In my county, I don't see anything. No, Bowie is out there. The BLM is out there. Ngo-Ketunjia is out there. Manu is out there. Fako is out there. Bali is out there. Ladies and gentlemen, these particular local communities are doing a fabulous job. If you have any reason not to draft for your immediate LGA or county, think of these other counties who are making this war what it should be, pushing it to where a lot of people to Cameroon never expected. So please, this week, all the routes lead to Bui, where we support, we draft, and support, stand behind the Bui Warriors. The Bui Warriors, a team that French Cameroon military has been hunting for almost 5 months on end. Almost 5 months on end. And yet, how many times have you heard that we lost Bui Warriors? No, not at all. On a very few cases, very few cases. But how many French Cameroon army are we decimating in Bui? The numbers are uncountable. You heard Dieudonné Nsomba yesterday. He said, we are killing at least 24 French Cameroon army on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis, and I believe out of those 24, at least 10 are coming out of Bui. Ladies and gentlemen, Bui drafted the least amount of money last year. For those who think that money is a problem in this thing, no, money is not really the problem. It is, number one, good management, and number two, the will to fight, the resilience that we have seen in Bui. Do not say, oh, we need so much money. There is a county out there that drafted over $600,000, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is happening there. We are yet to see anything there. But a small, Bui that drafted less than, I think they drafted less than 90,000. And of course, you know, the redemption rate for those drafts was like 50%. So if they drafted 90,000, maybe they redeemed about 50,000 or 40-something thousand. Yet, Bui has been in the battlefront on a daily basis, decimating La République du Cameroon. I wish they had better arms, ladies and gentlemen. But at this moment, we are able to put better arms into the hands of Bui warriors to encourage them to continue to give La République du Cameroon a run for their own money. So I want to encourage and appeal to every one of you out there listening to the sound of my voice and watching me on television and the social media. Even if you are on ground zero, there are some of you on ground zero who drafted last year. We want to see more people on ground zero drafting. You don't know how to draft? Give us a phone call and we will direct you, we will lead you to your county where you want to draft. Please, ground zero, stand up. At least I'm talking about some of you who are able to do it. And I know many of you out there are able to draft. So please, you can call and we will give you information on how to direct your draft. So we're looking forward to this weekend. We want to make sure that Bui does not draft anything less than 200,000. Let us double the figures of last year. Haven't seen what Bui is able to do, what they have done. I shall be coming up on Wednesday with the Bui team to have them tell us exactly what the plans are, their payment methods, and everything that you would need to know about Bui, the payment methods, how you can draft for Bui without even being in the Zoom draft meeting coming up on Saturday. So please, again, if you have the contacts for the Bui County, or any of the LGAs in Bui, begin to contact them, draft. And I'm really asking that every county begin to find out a means of keeping the record for those who are drafting. I am a believer in the fact that We must keep records so that at the end of the day, once we are back in Boya, we should be able to tell who supported this war, who sponsored this war. We are not going to have everybody become a hero at the end of the day. We are going to see at the end of the day who paid for the war, who supported the war. I remember in the case of Eritrea, I think it was Eritrea, yes. I was told once the war was over and Eritrea regained her independence, the people, if you were in the diaspora and did not support the war, the whole thing was calculated and you had to pay before you could set foot on the country, on Eritrea. And if you dare set foot on Eritrea without, before being discovered, you were made to make a commitment to pay that money, else there was no way you could build a house, there was no way you could buy a land, there was no way you could, conduct a funeral. So, again, I'm asking every LGA, every county in Ambazonia, please, let's keep records. Let's keep records of those who are supporting this war. Without them, we will have no ARFs, Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Without them, we wouldn't be having them. So I think I can't say this enough. Let's get ready. All routes lead to Bui County for the Bui Warriors, ladies and gentlemen, this coming weekend. I am so excited. We are finally there. Let us, ladies and gentlemen, show la République du Cameroon. We are graduating from AK-47s to RPGs and to those homemade explosive, the Le Fances and the Foncha Masunganyes, and so on and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, they try to take it away from us. They trap us on all the routes from Nigeria, thinking that without Nigeria we are done. But we told them that we can make these things ourselves. And we are beginning to make them. And I see the Defense Department emphasizing every local government must have 2, 3, 4, 5 factories. Factories. Let's see what our Republic will do. All right. Okay. I want to thank all of you on Ground Zero for honoring Ghost Town today. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Town stays with us. Ghost Town stays with us. Ghost Town is going nowhere. Nowhere. Ghost Town is going nowhere. Some people have been trying to call out, to call a ceasefire on Ghost Town. Listen, we're never going to call a ceasefire on Ghost Town. If you hear it from any other person other than from this interim government, know that it is coming from traitors, black legs within the struggle. Okay, I hope you get that. Anybody calling for a cessation of Ghost Town not coming from this interim government, close your ears to that person. There is a lot of infiltration, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of infiltration among us now. La République du Cameroon is really trying hard to buy some people among us and then to use them to sell this struggle. That is why we are warning you. When people begin to call for ceasefire, when people begin to call for cessation of ghost towns, please open your eyes, open your eyes, open your eyes. When you begin to see certain so-called leaders doing so, until this interim government calls it off, please do not take it from anyone. I think we have established the pedigree here to gain your trust to know we actually know what we are doing here. Of course, we make our own chunk of mistakes. We will continue to make those chunks of mistakes, but we have the best interest for Ambazonia at heart, and we are trying to do our best to make sure that what we are doing takes us to no other place, no other destination, not to Douala, not to Yaoundé, not to one Cameroon, but to Boya. Thank you for staying put. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an important guest, somebody I consider an important guest who is joining me. This is somebody that all of you out there are very much familiar with, or familiar to. I am talking about Masha Obi Nsoh Foncha. Masha Obi, I hope I got Obi right. Is it Obi or Obi? Well, you will correct me. Masha Obi Nsoh Foncha is my guest for tonight. Masha Obi Foncha, as you all know, was in here. I mean, when I say in here, I mean in this struggle at the very beginning. In fact, he was commander of Manu, of Indian, of Fako, of Meme, and I guess also of Kupe Maniguba from the very beginning of this struggle. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. From the very beginning of this struggle, he commanded the restoration fighters, Ambazonian restoration fighters in these counties. But suddenly, he pulled out after some controversial stuff about him, about embezzlement, about compromise. He pulled out, and he has since become a peace advocate for La République du Cameroon. I invited Nsoh Foncha here. I really don't know whether at this moment I can still call him a comrade, owing to what he now preaches. But I will let him come on with his own explanation to what he preaches. But ladies and gentlemen, I invited him to share with us why the change, the sudden change, turn around. We have seen him again and again on Equinox Television, on Afrique Media, on Prime Media TV. Now, these are TV stations in La République du Cameroon who would dare not invite any of us here at the interim government. But Masha Nsoh Foncha has had a field day feeding in as a guest on those channels. And I have the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to present him to you, and we go on with a conversation. Masha Foncha, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you, Comrade Arno, for inviting me to your platform. And I am very appreciative for the fact that you are giving me a space to actually clear some falsified and false information that has been continually being fed to our gullible people in the former Southern Cameroon, the defunct colonial structure of the present political dispensation in that part of Gulf of Guinea. And if I may correct you, Comrade Arno, I was the catalyst of the arms insurrection under Southern Cameroon Defense Forces, SCDF, not a mere commander under the Ambazonian ASC that I founded, and it was later hijacked by the interim government that you are part of currently. So, with that said, the pivotal question here, why the sudden change, you asked.
Yes.
And if you permit me, I will answer that question.
All right.
Being the catalyst of the arms insurrection before Ayaba, before Akwanga, the actual arms catalyst, who had military deals in England to fight, to litigate this war in the theater of the ground. We must agree here today that I did not embezzle a single penny from the Ambazonian people, but rather spent my private and personal monies in the thousands of dollars that actually crumbled my business in Florida.
All right, Marshal Foncha, we are going to get there. I like you to take. I like us to take this in a little surgical way. I like to come to you with this footage of you here. I like you to take a look of this footage of you here. Please listen to this.
10 plus. It's like near 300. Hashtag no to life sentencing.
Give the world a briefing.
Even an outdoor listen to the voice of Ambazonians.
And what percentage coming on ground?
Let Ambazonia go. Have declared our independence since
I'm sorry for the delay there, but this was you in New York addressing Ambazonians. So listen to this. This was 2019.
Ambazonia.
So let's listen.
Ambazonia. We have come here today to resurrect the evident silence coming from this graveyard as our people have been slaughtered, killed, maimed, raped by the armed forces of the Republic of Cameroon with its foreign clan hegemony state, France and China. My fellow Amazonians, this is no time to relent. We are the citizens of Amba land, our ancestral homeland. And we have come here today to make the international community understand one thing. We shall never surrender. Yes. We shall fight. Yes. I got the info from the fighters on the ground this morning while on my way to New York. We will fight until the last man standing. Yes. The army of the Republic of Cameroon must withdraw and surrender unconditionally. Yes. We are not going to play a party to a manipulative regime from Yaoundé that is trying to deceive the international community by calling for a dialogue which is actually a monologue.
Yes, be allowed.
We, the people, have rise up. The forces of the Amazonian military forces and all the factions on the ground that carry guns to defend our women and children have steadfast made a statement, and they are categorically clear. The government of Cameroon has an adversary, and this adversary are the young men and women who are duty to free Ambazonia. Yes! I stand here today as a messenger. I am not a leader. I am a messenger to the real leaders of this revolution, the men and women who are sleeping in the bushes with AK-47, with TORs, with RPGs, trying to defend our homeland. So we have decided we will come back over here again and again and again and again. Even on the 24th, we will be back here again. Yep. Until the people of Amazonia come in contact with freedom and Luther continue.
Yes.
All right. Marshal Foncha, that was you in your early days of a revolutionary. Now, I get two things that you mentioned there. Number one, we must fight to the last man standing. Number two, we will come back again and again and again until Ambazonia is free. What happened, sir? The last man is not yet standing. You happen to be the first man to falter. What happened?
Yes, Comrade Chris. I appreciate you playing that clip at the United Nations. And we must understand that this revolution, in the course of this revolution, up till that date, I was at the United Nations. Tribal tyrants hijacked and created several factions in this revolution as you on Amba TV did not play that particular clip that day I was there. The day I was at the United Nations speaking, ABC TV, which you are the anchor, did not play that clip. So my question is, are the factions within the Ambazonian secessionist movement fighting themselves based on tribal lines, or fighting themselves to juxtapose themselves for position? No, Mr. Chris, I have to answer very clearly.
Hold on.
I want to answer you. I am not that. I am not digressing.
My question was, that was you in New York sending a message, not only to the United Nations, but to La République du Cameroon, that you will fight, even if you were the last man standing, that you will fight. But you became the first man to fall. What happened?
No, I am not. Wait, Mr. Chris, I am not the first man to fall. You are making a point that is actually not calculated properly. The reason why I say that is this.
Do you still believe in
Ambazonia? Wait.
Do you
give me a
still
chance.
believe in a free Ambazonia?
No, you asked a question.
And
I
really want you to answer the question. Do you still believe in the free Ambazonia?
No, don't interrupt. Let me answer the question. Don't interrupt me. This is the answer to the question. The Ambazonian secessionist movement has been hijacked by tribal tyrants, and factions have been created. And we have to understand that if we are talking about negotiations without preconditions, there should be the carrot and stick option. In any crisis, we will end on the table. And I want to make this perfectly clear. When it comes to arms, my neutrality.
You see,
Mr. Chris,
when I ask you a question, you want to go round and round.
No, I am not going round the question.
You are no longer the leader of the SCDF.
Correct.
The
SCDF.
You are now.
No, the SCDF.
You are now talking about. Let me put the question.
Mr. Chris, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. You got it wrong.
You are now talking about a 10-state federation after you drop down with SCDF. Correct. So I'm trying to understand from you what happened. After you preach, you will be the last man.
Wait a minute.
I'd like you to answer the question.
Okay, Mr. Chris, the last man standing does not necessarily mean staying within a corrupt, factional, tribal, and tyrannical movement that has been hijacked with what you call religious dialogues.
Organization, the SCDF, was hijacking it from you.
Wait a minute. The SCDF created the ANC, and the forces came together. You remember that very well. And what happened was other factions like the AGC, Akwanga's faction, did not want to join that ANC because the secessionist movement was already fractured to tribal lines. We must agree on this part. Now, moving towards a 10-state federation, the right to inalienable self-determination is a right that every people in all regions of that country have. And when I say the inalienable right, I mean even the people of the Northwest and the Southwest province.
You are just going round and round and round.
No, I am not.
Let me ask you the question in a different way. Do you still believe in the free and independent Ambazonia?
I don't believe in the free and independent Ambazonia, but I believe in the inalienable right to self-determination by all the 10 respective regions. Let me put it frank to you. Chris, you're gonna cut this and make what you call a soundbite, shock and awe. Let me explain it very well to you. I don't want to lump the Southwest and the Northwest as a state, either within Cameroon Federation or either within an Ambazonian Federation, because it's quite clear The Northwesterners and the Southwesterners have inalienable right to self-determination, and I believe all the other 8 regions also. We don't. I cannot form a country with the Northwesterners.
Please, cool down.
We cannot form a country with the Northwesterners.
Cool down. Let's take it slowly.
Yes,
you do
I'm
not
ready for you.
In a free and independent Ambazonia anymore.
I do not believe. No, I do not believe in forming a state with the Northwest region.
Listen to the question.
Yes.
So my question to you is, what change?
What change is the hijacking of the secessionist movement into tyrannical tribal factions? Okay, let me explain something to you. When I got into this struggle, a lot of Northwesterners thought I was from the Northwest. When they found out that I was from the Southwest, their support dissipated and went to Ayaba. I know these things. Let's face facts. Northwest have the right to be a state. Southwest have the right to be a state. Littoral have the right to be a state. The West, East. So my consensus is I am a centrist.
You were fighting for when you created an army.
We have the right to make political shifts as we assess the situation going forward. The nuances and the political calculation in the beginning.
You make a 360 political
that
shift.
Is not a 3. Wait a minute. You want to go, Mr. Case? Mr. Case, let me ask you a question before you ask me a question. Are you not calling for negotiations? Are you not calling for negotiations?
We're coming there. Let me ask you. You have formed what you call, is it Southern, no, Africa, what's the name of your organization again?
New Africa Coalition Front. It's a centrist force.
New Africa Coalition Force. Now, is it a
No.
party?
New African Coalition Front, not a force.
New Africa Coalition Front. Thank you. Now, what is it all about? A political party?
New African Coalition Front is a centrist force that adheres to the right to a negotiated settlement without precondition, which means all 10 respective regions in Cameroon have a voice in the future of that country. And New Africa Coalition Front is a pan-African organization that don't believe in former European constructs. So, that is why I will not engage in history with you. I want the French out. I want the British out.
Cool down. I get that. So
now, yes,
this
organization
is based where? Is it a political party or what?
It's not a political party.
And so where is it based?
It's my word, because it's based in the United States and it's based in Cameroon and it's based in different parts of the world. We have members. And these members, it's not only people from the English-speaking extract, but also African Cameroonians who don't believe in French hegemony and French neo-colonial power in Africa. We are coming together to say we want the right to self-determination for everybody in that country. Paul Biya's regime has failed that country. Amadu Ayijo failed that country. John Foncha failed us. Tenden Muna failed us. Now we want a new construct that is based on Africanization of that part of the world.
We get that. Now let's move to something else that you began talking about from the beginning of this interview. You made mention of the fact that you withdrew from the movement to free Ambazonia, all over French Cameroon television, talking about Equinox, Afrique Media, Prime Media. You present yourself out there as this guy who was one of the biggest shots within the movement. And now, are you concerned that when you sit on television on Ground Zero and you say all these things, you are trying to convince those on the ground that you were not actually fired? You were fired from the ANC, am I correct?
No, I was not fired from the ANC. I resigned.
You were the spokesperson, and they fired you.
Yes, no. I resigned, Mr. Chris. I resigned. You are there. You are trying to put out information that's false. That is what I don't like about this secessionist movement, because there is a lot of grandstanding and intellectually assaulting gullible Southern Cameroonians or the defunct Southern Cameroonians and people in the Northwest and Southwest. What you are saying is false. You know it's false, but you believe that the gullible people on the ground and all over the world will believe in what you are saying.
Marshal Foncha, please. Did the ASC, which turned into the ANC, I think so, were you fired as the spokesperson?
I wasn't fired. And now, let me clarify. The ASC was angry with the embezzlement of my trip to Boya money that you are part of. That is why the ASC refused and decided to move away, aligning themselves with the interim government under Sakosa and yourself and John Egiwan.
Are you suggesting that you resign from the ASC?
I am not suggesting. I am saying I resigned. I have all the documentation, the text back and forth. I resigned, not fired. And the reason why ASC moved away from SACO is because of the gross embezzlement and the religious zealotry, deceiving people on the ground. Let me finish. You have one fact. You have a wild card here. You have a wild card here. There is a wild card. There is a wild card called John Egiwan. I would like John Egiwan to go on the air with me.
No, you are not.
There is a wild card here. He embezzled more than $400 and something thousand from the people.
I mean, cool down. I'm giving you every opportunity to answer the questions, please.
And I'm answering the question, but you don't like the answer, so you try to make up stuff.
Now, this question is important, especially for those watching on Ground Zero, because when they see you on the television sets there, they think that, oh, what a righteous person. He didn't want to stand any fraud, any corruption, as you put it, and you resign from the movement. Whereas, number one, the ANC fired you because of allegations.
Chris, there you go again. You are telling a lie. No, Chris. Mr. Ano, you are lying to the people. The ANC did not fire me. I resigned from the ANC after you went out the day I was chastising Ayaba about bringing Mba Ivo into Teke, that a lot of people have forgotten, and I got a message from my then deputy Yingfu Sangong that Chris Anu have just announced that there's an intel that Ekema Patrick has been captured. You were the one who announced that first. Chris don't play over people's intelligence. You are lying. You are telling a lie.
My problem with you is that you try to dodge the questions and the answers.
I don't. No. You are dodging the answer. No, Chris. You are dodging the answer because you don't like the answer.
What about the $17,000 that was given to you to send down to the SCDF boys that you supposedly led in India?
Nobody gave me $7,000. Okay, Chris.
What happened to that?
There are documents that when you send monies, right? Anywhere in the world. They didn't give me cash. There are documents when you send money, right? Why don't you present that document and bring the thief, John Egiwan, to present that document where he sent me money? Now we have to make this thing very clear. No $17,000 was given to me, and you also were part of the gang that went and put a flyer up that I stole $17,000, of which I was using my own personal money to find. I even went before Nambere left from Nigeria to Cameroon. I sent Nambere $4,000, which the other guy they call him, I don't want to give their names out here. Nambere knows this. And what happened was not $17,000. I want John Egiwan to come here. So please, we should stop manipulating gullible people. As I've stated the fact that my stance on arms is neutral. I will not blindly support the government of Cameroon in totality, and I will not stupidly support a secession movement that has been hijacked by tribal tyrants.
Stay put in there for a short breakout. Please, everybody stay put.
Fellow Ambazonians, dear countrymen, despite the hike in targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream.
A place we can surely call home.
At last, My people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance.
The land of our forebears.
A place we can surely call home.
A few years ago, a vicious dictator declared war on our sovereign nation of Ambazonia. It is a war we did not seek nor provoke, but are determined to muster every strength we can harness and continue sending the message to our enemy that we have risen to call no more.
We have paid dues for everything. We pay tax for goods we buy. We pay fuel in our cars. We pay hospital bills and the dues for all other sacrifices.
I can give all I have for the one hope that I have.
Because I hate my CID. I'm a nation proudly Amazonian.
Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of her enemies.
Independence will be but days away if we get it right with our CID.
My dear comrades, I am appealing to every Ambazonian to register with the CID program.
We have no control over our distorted history, but with our CID, we can set the pace and determine the future of Ambazonia.
Yes, the hope for the future is in our hands. As an Ambazonian, my identity is conclusive. My right is guaranteed. My vote will always count as I pay my CID.
All right, thanks for staying put out there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I am joined with my guest, Nsoh Foncha, who is talking about the role that he played in this interim, in this struggle, and then dropped out suddenly for reasons best known to him. Nsoh Foncha, before we took this break, we were discussing about the $17,000 that was said to have given to you as the leader, the commander of the SCDF. And you are saying that, no, you didn't receive the note. You are saying that you have receipts for everything that you got. Did you submit those receipts to the ASC, sir, before you were fired?
Chris, there you go again. I was not fired. I resigned. And I can pull those messages that I resigned. And I resigned, not fired. So stop telling people otherwise. I resigned from ASC. And then again, I was not given $17,000. You were behind the plot to discredit me with John Egiwan and the rest and Mark Barata to put up a flyer that $17,000 was given to me. Nobody gave me $17,000. Nobody. If they gave me $17,000, let them show the proof. And why is it that my name is not on that audit that you guys did? Why is it that my name is not on that audit that John Egiwan stole almost $400,000? Why is it that my name is not on that audit that is paying for ABC TV? Why is it that my name is not on that audit that Sako Samuel Kome, who is actually jobless, bought a house? Why is my name not on the audit? So our people are not gullible enough, but I know that because of tribalism, they will rather an Ayaba or someone else be the leader of the arms insurrection after they found out that Nsoh Foncha Obi, after all, is not from Northwest, it's from Southwest. It's for those reasons. I don't want a country with the people of the Northwest region. I want them to have their right to self-determination. We have our right to self-determination and all the respective regions in the country.
I will not sit here and have you tell me that you won't want to have a country with the people of the Northwest region. When you went out fighting for Ambazonia,
ask me why. Ask me why. Listen, when in the course of a struggle, we go in with good faith. But when we are in fighting, and when we are in politically juxtaposing, then the true colors of people and their political objectives start to come out. I can tell you today, 99.9% of Ayaba supporters are from the Northwest region. with a few from the Manu region. Wait, let me no.
We are not talking
it's
about
a tribal.
Ayaba.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you. No, Chris.
We are not here talking about Ayaba.
You haven't. No.
About you.
No,
the 17 please listen to me. When we are talking about issues, you drag in other issues to avoid the reason.
I did not drag the issue. I was
listen, let me ask the question.
I was clarifying the point.
Besides the 17,000, besides the 17,000, there was also the
which wasn't given to me.
You collected money. You collected money from Ekema Patrick the night you announced that he was picked up. Now, I am sure listening to your outings in the Republic of Cameroon,
wait a minute. That is also
Chris How did Chris Anu announce it? It was you who went on television and told the people you had him. Suddenly you came back and said, no,
wait a minute, Chris.
We were told you collected funds.
Wait a minute, Chris.
Did you collect money from Ekema?
No. I did not collect money from Ekema Patrick. Neither did they give me $17,000. Let's make this very clear. Ekema Patrick did not give me no money. Nobody ever sent me money. It's my own monies that have been used for the time that I was there.
Was Ekema picked up that night?
Ekema was not picked up. That was a false intelligence. I've said that over and over.
What do you mean as a false intelligence? You mean that the person who sent you the information was blind to know that the person he had in his keeping wasn't Ekema?
You read that before I even went up on the radio.
You went on television and announced that
I announced
you got him.
Listen.
Remember
likewise. Likewise, Chris, let me disprove you here. Likewise, the United States announced several times that they got Osama bin Laden in Tora Bora or Saddam Hussein. When they came back and said, no, it wasn't him, it was faulty intelligence. What is wrong with that? How stupid are our people? I am living in the United States. I get a call from the ground. We understand the lot of falsification that's happening on the ground. When that information comes to me via telephone from my deputy, after I finish chastising Ayaba, you are running away.
Do you remember the conversation I had with you?
Give me some time.
Me and you were supposed to go on TV.
I remember
the conversation I had with you.
Chris,
do you remember the conversation I had with you?
Chris, I know what you said. You came. Let me tell you now exactly what you said. You came into the ASC meeting.
I asked you whether you have spoken.
No,
those who are keeping him, you said yes.
No,
did it turn out to be that he was not the one?
Chris, you are lying to the people. Whole-faced lie. You did not. You came into the ASC meeting and said, Foncha has taken one for the team. You were behind the plot to discredit me. You, Chris Arno.
If you came up saying that you had the enemy,
no.
why was I going to discredit you?
You read that information on the radio.
Yourself.
No.
You discredited yourself by taking money from that team.
No. I did not take money. Chris, you read it and it was passed over to Yingfu Sangon. Yingfu Sangon called me and told me that this is what's going on. That's the intel guard, and Chris Arno have just announced it. Chris, stop manipulating the people, please. Stop manipulating the people. And Ekema did not give me any money. Ekema himself came up and made a video that he was not arrested. He gave me no money. All this talk was the people within tribal lines trying to discredit me.
You brought in Bishop John Egewan into this conversation. Did you?
He's a thief.
What did he do?
He's a thief.
What
he
did he do?
Almost 400-something thousand, and within the ASC, he was creating commissions and transferring money into those commissions. And Tegason told me that Bishop John created commissions, blind commissions, to direct money from my trip to Boya into those commissions. Those monies were embezzled. Those are some of the things why I pull out of this nonsense. Beside the tribalism, corruption, positioning ourselves for political gains, self-serving and self-centeredness.
Right.
You are actually an epitome of all those things I've done.
What about the allegation that money given to you was sent to Ground Zero, you turn around, ask that money to be sent back to you in the USA? on several
Another
occasions.
lie. Nobody have sent me money from Chris. You are trying to feed nonsense to the people. Nobody have ever sent me money anywhere in this revolution apart from a bumble life. When we started, and all this money, remember, we are the ones who started it.
No. Money to send to ground
absolutely,
zero.
absolutely not. You said 17,000. Bring John. Absolutely not. Bring even the chairman of the ASC. He will tell you that. Why did all of them pull out from the interim government, aligning with the interim government? Because of the shortcomings of your gang.
They pull out because
you guys you guys went and created something else.
Remember, I was
you are not
in their meetings. Let me explain.
I created ASC.
Let me explain.
I created ASC, not you.
Let me explain.
I created ASC. I created ASC, not you. So you cannot tell me anything about ASC. You guys were not upfront, and you decided to create a new group.
Hold on there.
But you were in the forum looking for ways to position yourself and discredit others.
Hold on there. The ANC, many of them began to work out because money, just like in your case, was no longer going to pass through their hands.
You are lying in front of the people. The ANC created.
Let me make the point, please. Let me make the point. Your microphone is not on, please. Your microphone is not on. Listen, I will turn on your microphone. I want to make the point. The ANC leaders like you began to pull out of the ANC because the interim government changed the style of disbursement. Initially, those of you who were commanders will get the money in disbursed to your commanders on the ground. When it turned out that many of the commanders, including you, as I learned, would get the money, split it into three, put the bigger chunk in your pocket. So when the IG found out about that, they decided the money must be going straight to the boys on the ground. The commanders here were then asked to present your commanders on the ground or the people on the ground to whom you want the money to go to. You were one of those reported to have been doing this. You gave an agent in Douala. The money was sent to the agent. The agent was supposed to send the money to the commander. You now turn around, ask the agent in Douala, divide the money into three, send you 2 pieces, you put it in your pocket. And the IG finally discovered this and ended disbursement of the money to any third party. It began to go down to the generals themselves. You were listening to audios from ground zero. The IG will disburse money. I'm coming. The IG will disburse money. You guys will take the money, split it, and then send a chunk to the boys on the ground. The next day, the boys are making audios and saying that, we don't get the money. So, wasn't that the case? I give you the chance to answer now.
Hold on. Okay, Chris, I will appreciate you if you stop telling blatant lies to the gullible people. Everything that you have just said for the past 5 minutes, it's a lie. A bold-faced lie, trying to manipulate the gullible supporters of the secessionist movement to believe that you are a criminal gang, which is actually a clandestine syndicate of scammers, embezzled money. And when we started chastising them about this money, they decided to walk away and create the NSCC so they can give account to the ASA about the money that you, John Egiwang, Sako, and the rest embezzled. Now, you flip it around, that is Foncha or someone else. Stop telling lies, my friend. My brother,
okay,
stop telling lies.
I get you.
If
now,
we have to, if we have,
no. Did you present the receipt of the $17,000 given you? You said you have receipt. Do you present it?
Wait a minute. You keep saying $17,000, Chris, and I keep telling you no. Bring John Egiwang.
Okay,
nobody gave me $17,000. Wait a minute. Listen. I presented receipts for almost $45,000 to the ASC, and I still have those records. And among the $45,000 that I presented, it was my money from my business. Chris, you came into this revolution, you spent none of your own money because you were jobless.
Well,
I came into this situation. No, Chris, it's a truth. I came in here as a businessman. Chris, no, let me speak. Let me speak.
Listen to me.
Let me speak. No, I
don't want to cut off your microphone. Please, let's be cordial.
Because you're gonna continue.
Listen to me, please. I don't want to be cutting your microphone. I want us to take this slowly so that people can understand. We're not here to quarrel. Nobody is hearing you. Please listen to my questions. Nobody's hearing you. So listen. When you say you spend your own money, $45,000, where did that money come from and what did you achieve with that money? By the way, I will have you, just sit in there, please. I have Bishop John Ejewan here to tell us about the allegations that you are making. Bishop John, I believe you have listened to Foncha here with these allegations. Tell us, was Nsoh Foncha fired from the ANC or did he resign? Your answer. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
All right.
Okay.
My mic was off. Thank you very much, Secretary Chris. Greetings to all the Ambazonian people who are watching home and abroad. Secretary Chris, Nsoh Foncha is an actor. And Nsoh Foncha was fired because he usually go on air, make statement that was not sanctioned by the ASC. He took upon himself to be doing other things, and the way he was posing and everything like that was inconsistent of a military leader. So he can say that he resigned, but if they tell you to resign, well, did he just choose for himself to resign or he was asked to resign? That's one thing. So I've heard him talk about no money was given. I have records, and I even have some activists have that record. I think UN has that record, and I think Paul Nilontu also has the record. And the auditors who did the audit, they have all the records of money that I received and who I sent that money to. Like he is talking about somebody who have a business. I personally own my own business, and I get money from the United States Army as a veteran, as a disabled veteran. So I get a good chunk of money for being a veteran in the United States Army. That money alone is able to many people, the salary that many people make in the United States might not even be up to the money that I make, just being a United States veteran who is disabled. So for him to be saying other nonsense, you know, he posed himself as a military person, and he lied to people that he was a lieutenant in the army. When he goes to thrift store and buy military uniform and put it on himself, not really putting it very well, and people thought that Nsoh Foncha was a military officer in the United States. But whereas Nsoh Foncha doesn't even know the door of basic training. He has never seen military basic training before. You know, so Bishop John, Nsoh Foncha is an actor. Nsoh Foncha is a liar.
Bishop John,
and if you say yes,
I need us to establish one fact here. You were essentially the overseer of the ASC and eventually the ANSC. Was Nsoh Foncha fired as a spokesperson or he resigned?
He was fired.
All right. Okay. Now, talking about the disbursements that were made. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to understand the reason why I am bringing these issues up here. And I should clarify that. This is very important because Nsoh Foncha makes the rounds out there on Ground Zero, on all their television channels, presenting himself as this righteous guy who walked out of a house that was about to fall, whereas he was actually the problem. The problem. It is very important Ground Zero understand this, and when they see people coming to sit in front of them on their television set, they should begin to question their integrity when they can now have the opportunity to hear the other side like this. So, Bishop John, I will come back to you. Disbursements were made at the ASC. Now, tell us, what do you know? Do you have any idea of what the ASC or the interim government disbursed to Nsoh Foncha, whether for Indian, whether for Manu, whether for Manfe, for Kupe Manengube? Can you give us an idea, please?
Yes, Sir Chris. I personally, money came through me that I sent to, that was supposed to go to Nsoh Foncha area that he was controlling on ground zero. I have records of that money, and when the money comes, the ASC sits and say, okay, this money should go to this person, this money should go to this person. And these people sometimes will give the account where these monies have to go, and we will send the monies to this account. That's how it was being done. And if he says that no money ever came to him, I don't know why he's saying that, but if when they say you receive money, it means you directed money. Money was designated to go to the group that you are controlling, and you designated where that money was going. That money did not go to somebody. You had to present where the money had to go to ground zero, and that's what he did. So for him to say that he had no money, he spent his own money, and no money came from ASC, that is untrue.
Let's get to another issue that Nsoh Foncha doesn't want to set the record straight. Mr. Foncha, I'm coming back to you. I've given you a lot of time to speak. Let's get Bishop John retract some of these issues and tell us exactly what he knows. Bishop John, the announcement of the capture of Ikema Patrick, who made that announcement? Who made the call? And what was the source?
We don't know the source, but Nsoh Foncha made the announcement that Ikema Patrick has been captured. And that announcement first did not even run it through the ASC. I want to let you know. And those are some of the things that made the ASC unhappy with the way Nsoh Foncha was doing his spokesmanship. So he made that announcement.
Okay, thank you. Let me bring back Nsoh Foncha here. Nsoh Foncha talks about his business. He talks about his career. I would like to ask you, Mr. Foncha, I will not want to put up those images because Amba will see you in all the paraphernalia of the U.S. military. Have you ever been in the U.S. military, sir?
I have never, ever come on the media and said I was a member of the United States military. But what I have done, which I have the document for, I was a contractor at the Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. Not a military member, but a civilian. Wait, Chris, come on. Wait, Chris,
you were a contractor. What were you a contractor
for? Wait a minute. Let me finish. You are trying to cover me because you want to keep spreading lies. Let me finish. I've told you that.
What were you a contractor for? Can you answer the question?
Chris,
what were you a contractor for?
You are great at deceiving people. I am saying that I have never come on as John has alleged that I said I was a lieutenant in the American government in military. I have never ever said that. But if I want to make it very clear, I was a contractor, a civilian contractor, not a member of the American military. I have never said that. No way. John made that up. And why is it that you are not asking John how much money did they send to me? Why is he just saying money? You said 17,000. I want John to look me in the eye and say he sent me 17,000 because you know what?
I would wait.
No, he did not answer. What was the amount? What was the amount?
Listen,
no.
That you're making people to think that you're telling the truth.
No, Chris,
really look like a liar.
In fact, no, you are the liar here because you were pushing for $17,000, and I told you that I did not receive $17,000, and you brought your gang of a criminal financial syndicate, John Egiwan, which is part of your clique that embezzled people's money, to come and say that. But John, how much money did you send to me? Look me in the face, and I have the records. You did not send me not $17,000, and Nambere will be there to testify that whatever was given to me, it was sent to Bitakola and Nambere in Nigeria. You guys are a bunch of financial crime syndicates.
All right,
you guys are liars.
Let John answer your question. Let John answer your question. John, go on, please.
First of all, Comrade Foncha is mixing up things. Before, when we formed ASC, Nambere was not in the picture as it was. Nambere is just of recent that he became one general. But prior to that, Comrade Foncha, when ASC was formed, Nambere was not the person receiving money on the ground. He was not in the picture. So don't mix up stuff. When Nambere went to Nigeria, that's a different era. That was towards the end of Nambere's military work in the Ambazonian Restoration Force. So please, it is good to speak the truth. There's no need to be shouting and raising your voice. Did you?
Bishop John, I think we lost you out there. Bishop John,
please, I was disconnected for a little. I was disconnected for a little while. A call was coming in. So money was directed to go to your brigade, and you gave account for those monies to be sent. I even remember one time where you were very angry because they, you know, with Bank of America, you can only send so much amount per day, and you were very angry why that money was not going. And I had to be able to send those money, but I can only send so much money a day. And this is something that we went through all in the ASC. So for Foncha, if I can say, I have to go through the record. I wasn't ready that I was going to be digging, but I have to bring the record. I don't want to come here and say this, but I know that over $10,000 was sent, or you directed over $10,000 to be sent to Ground Zero or to a particular account. That was money through ASC.
Bishop,
the exact amount, I have to really look at it.
Bishop John,
Ocheba Nelson, they have records of that.
Did Foncha at any time in the ASC let the ASC know that he has spent $45,000 of his own money?
I'm not aware of that, no.
All right. I will get back to you, Foncha. Let me get back to you. Let's do the last round here. Now, again, this is very important because people on Ground Zero watch you and they feel like you are telling them the gospel truth. The gospel truth. I asked you from the beginning, why are you no longer in the struggle? You are instead talking of a 10-state federation. What happened to a free and independent Ambazonia? I'd like to go back to that question.
Because I don't want a tribal state with the Northwesterners. Simple.
Okay. So in your mind, you want to believe that La République du Cameroon, who has colonized your own county of Indian, La République du Cameroon, that has given you no roads in Indian, no schools in Indian, in spite of the fact that you are the exactly the breadwinner of that, the resources in that country. You think that they are better than a free and independent Cameroon? Or you don't want a free and independent Ambazonia because of
the people in the littoral, the people in the littoral, the people in the south, the people in the east, the people in Adamawa, the people in the north, they want the right to self-determination under a new Cameroonian federation not based on colonial construct. And I have seen, and one of the pivotal reasons why I left the secessionist movement is because I realized that the Northwesterners have a dubious political objective, and they are pretentious. It's true.
That is very disingenuous. That is very disingenuous of you.
Majority of Southwesterners.
Don't you think that,
majority of Southwesterners, please,
don't you think
stop fooling yourself.
Don't you think that the average man out there those listening to you on Ground Zero really think that you are a hungry man and you want French Cameroon to invite you and sit you on the table, put some.
No, Chris. Those are the things that you say among your stupid, gullible followers for them to believe. I don't need nobody's money to survive. My kids are all in college. I put them through. They're in college right now, so to speak. I put them through college. I have my own business. You just saw my number that I gave you. I have a financial investment firm in Central Florida.
You have
These
a
are the things I come and tell.
You have a restaurant, sir.
The restaurant is closed. It's closed. No, I don't. That is my sister's restaurant that I came to do grand opening. That is not my restaurant.
So when
my
did
restaurant
you leave from being a contractor to when did you leave from being a contractor to a financial analyst or whatever?
And let me clarify you. Go to Google and type Diversity Continental Van Lines. I had 6 tractor trailers. I run a tractor trading company here. Ask people, they will tell you. I don't come and tell you my personal business. I had Diversity Continental Van Line. Google it. That was a transportation company with 6 tractor trailers that I owned and operated, and that was a company that I was contracting with the United States.
How many people did you employ?
Military. I had 16 people working for me, including my elder brother.
But
yes.
Now, Mr. Foncha, you have said in another interview on the primetime TV that you employed over 200 Americans. Now it's reduced to 16.
No, wait a minute. Go bring that clip that I said I employed 200 people. Then you prove yourself to be a big liar. I did not say I employed 200 people.
I will do just that.
This is what and let me clarify.
I will post it.
And let me clarify it.
That clip.
And let me clarify it.
Now listen.
Come on, Chris. Stop the semantics. In my course, I said in my course of business.
Americans. Now you reduce
during my course. No.
I
said during my course. Listen, Chris. Stop telling lies. I said during my course of business in the United States for 28 years.
I will bring you that clip. I will bring you that clip and you will watch it.
Don't whitewash it. Don't whitewash it. And let me repeat it and you bring
your own voice.
No. Wait. Let me repeat. You want to keep on placating stuff. I said on Prime TV, during my course of business in America for 28 years, I have employed over 200 people, and that is factual. The companies that I've created. Over 200 people during my course of business.
You see,
during my course of wait, please bring the clip. I said during my course of stay and business in America. I am not. Please, come on, man, stop lying. I am not angry. I am not angry, please.
Barrister John has been watching this. You are not on, please. You are not on, please. Barrister John has been watching this debate for a while. I'm talking about Barrister Nsoh John. Let me bring him in to give us a legal mind stake on your sudden switch from one man standing to the SCDF to a 10-state federation to tribalism in the interim government or wherever you call it. Barrister John, give me your description of what this is all about. When you see somebody juggling from one position to the other, from one place to the other, what do you call such a person?
Chris, let me say that you have brought a con man on the ABC television. Let me explain myself. I have a copy of the audio report. So Foncha's name is clearly written there. How much money he embezzled and refused to come to that audit program. He refused to submit himself to the audit. It is because of the fact that he stole that money that he now turned around and went to La République to sell the revolution to La République. He is a traitor. He will be treated like one unless he decides to spend the rest of his life in America. He is a traitor. He is a thief. He has stolen money that was meant to be given to our fighters on the ground. He sends money to the fighters and asks them to send it back. He sends money to his point man in Douala and asks it to be sent back. Those are the activities of a con man, of a thief. So I don't even know why we gave him just such grandstanding on ABC television, which is reputable television. I don't know. He should know that he will be treated like any other traitor and any other person who is involved in espionage. All his activities in Cameroon with who's the other one? Ngu Santos are well known. They went to Cameroon. They sold us to La Republique, to the enemy, and now you bring him to television and he's shouting all over the place. Nobody who is reasonable will not answer questions directly. He is shouting and making all kinds, trying not to answer the question and bringing in innuendos that have no bearing to the questions. So, Chris,
all right. Let me.
He's a
yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Barrister John. Again, it is very important that our people understand why sometimes we bring on some of these controversial characters onto ABC. These people have full access to La République du Cameroun television on ground zero. They go there to brainwash, to tell lies about what this interim government is doing. And sometimes when we bring them here, we put them, we let ground zero know exactly the kind of people, the kind of characters that they are dealing with. And Nsoh Foncha has displayed that here. From employing 16 people, from employing 200 people to employing 16 people. If you got nothing else, at least you got that one. And next time when you find him in front of you on your television set, on Equinox television, on the primetime television, on Afric Media, you know exactly the person that he is. That is the most important thing we should get from this exchange here. Nsoh Foncha, please, I thank you for coming on. Time is fast spent. We have to move on to other issues. Barrister John, you're trying to say something. Go on, please. I'm sorry. Bishop John, come on.
Yes. Sir Chris, I also want people to know this. Unfortunately, some of these commanders have passed on. You know, when money was sent through Nsoh Foncha supposed to go to his brigade, if you ask every one of those commanders that were supposed to receive money, they tell you what they have received. Sometimes they receive very little or they did not receive anything. And one of the commanders told me that Nsoh Foncha told them to go. You see, let me tell you, this kidnapping or harassing people to get money was actually initiated by Nsoh Foncha. I had a group of fighters that I personally brought together in Mountain Lion. That's what is known as Mountain Lion. I was the one who brought 16 boys together to start what has become now the Mountain Lion with General Cross and I personally started with my younger brother who brought Bertus, that's his name, who was General Cross and Bertus were working first with the Tigers and stuff like that. But when Nsoh Foncha took over, he was controlling all of that area. And he told me that Nsoh Foncha told them that they have to go and arrest people and get money. So this is a fact. And Nsoh Foncha will never accept this, but this is what he actually told me. So let me tell you, these things are all evident. People will come and shout on television. The truth will always remain the truth. But everything, when we get to Ambazonia, everything will be exposed because those fighters, some commanders on the ground, they are exposing people in the diaspora and they are being killed because they are speaking the truth. They will set those fighters to be killed by other people just because of this thing that some diaspora people are involved with money and you see this kidnapping ring is going on. There are people who are in the diasporas whose hands are not clean, you know. But this was actually started with some clean fighters by Nsoh Foncha. I'm telling you that in his face. Let him hear this.
All right.
You can go ahead and say I embezzle money. I was audited and the audit was clean. And when the auditors saw, they saw that actually out of all the money I was sending, my own extra money entered there about $4,000 or $5,000. That was out of my own personal pocket. You know, so
all right.
You can say fair, whatever, but if you cannot
to be
prove
fair
it,
to Nsoh Foncha, I will give him the opportunity to do a response to this. Barrister Nsoh has stated that Nsoh Foncha would not go for an audit. He refused an audit. Now you are also stating that Nsoh Foncha was getting his guy to kidnap for ransom on ground zero. What do you have to say, sir?
Well, Chris, if that is the narrative that you guys brought me on TV to try to further your financial scam syndicate, I will start by this. You, Chris Arno, John Egiwa, and Barrister Nsoh, who is actually a traitor, who threw his client under the bus. Wait.
Can you answer the question?
For God's sake.
I will cut you off. Did you go for the audit?
I submitted what I submitted, and it was
Did
there.
you attend the audit? Did you honor the invitation?
Which audit? I was called and I gave them information, and you are sitting there allowing them to be making false statements about kidnapping and bringing a thief who is a lawyer, a failed lawyer in Cameroon, sitting here eating embezzled money to say that I will not stay from Amazonia. Three of you. No, you listen.
Listen, no, I will cut you off. I will cut you off because we brought you here to answer questions. We brought you here to answer questions. We didn't bring you here to pour out venom. If you can't answer the questions, then we'll let you go. Please, thank you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying put there. We're now going to move to the next subject. At least you all know what some of these people who pass out for leaders are all about. When you see Foncha on your television screen on ground zero, know that this guy has never been the kind of leader you look out for. All right. Barrister John, let me come back to you. He is now gone, but let me get back to you to respond a little bit to some of the nonsense he was talking about there.
No, Chris, listen. So Foncha will be prosecuted if I'm still alive when we have our independence. He must be prosecuted. That is if he does set his foot on Ambazonia. I know he will not. But if he sets his foot in Ambazonia, he'll be prosecuted. Number two, he said I threw somebody under the bus. Yes, I did. I threw a traitor, Ayuk Tabe, under the bus because it was a danger to the revolution. Number three, I never embezzled any money. I was in ground zero and I ran a team of lawyers, and no lawyer has accused me for not having paid money to him. Lawyer that was hired by the interim government. They were all receiving their stipends. It was not a salary. It was a stipend for hotel bills and food. I don't know. You know, the interim government had two teams of lawyers, one in Nigeria, one in Cameroon. We in Cameroon, I don't think we received anything up to $15,000, $20,000 throughout the 10 months that we were there. But and Nigerian lawyers were also paid. I don't know where Foncha says that I embezzled money. I did not embezzle any money. But let me say this: Foncha will be prosecuted first for treason, and second for embezzlement of public funds belonging to the people of Ambazonia. He will be prosecuted. You can mark me. You can take my word to the bank. All right, he may not be prosecuted if he doesn't come to Ambazonia, because right now we don't have a court. We don't have a system where we can arrest him and prosecute him. But if we have a country, and so Foncha sets his foot in that country, he will be prosecuted.
All right. All right. Thank you, Barrister John. Let us move on to another subject here that has to do with something that we all are seeing out there relating to the ADF. The ADF, the communication that has leaked out between the ADF, Capo Daniel and General Afang, the conspiracy to kill Commando, and also their collaboration with La République du Cameroun. Now, I like to read what we see. out here, the communication that went forth between Capo Daniel and Afang and Efang. Now, this is the communication, ladies and gentlemen. The communication, this is Capo Daniel writing. And he says, now he is, I think, responding to, no, this is General Efang of the ADF writing. And he says, we need more boys. Most of these guys are leaving us to join the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Now that is Efang complaining there, ladies and gentlemen, that most of their ADF fighters are running and joining the Ambazonia Restoration Fighters. And Efang says, we must kill Commando, just like we killed Chacha, so that some of his boys can join us. He says, I am still working hard to get him, that is to get Commando. Let's use the strategy we use against Ayeke. So, did the ADF also kill Ayeke? All right, it continues. It's more effective, and no one will know we are involved. Ambazonians, I hope you are hearing that. Now listen to this other element of it from involving Eli Smith. Eli Smith and those guys from Yaoundé contacted me. Now, who are the guys from Yaoundé? Of course, the regime in Yaoundé. They wanted to know if I can deliver no PT. I told them, let's first focus on Commando and then no PT. It's like the pressure is high on them to get no PT. The pressure is high on Yaoundé to get no PT. Then he continues, they said they have spoken with Dr. Cho already, and you are aware of these developments. Now, he also continues, when are we expecting those guys from Biafra? I am close to Commando and need them to help me. I lack boys, and those our guys from BIRO are now afraid because Sako and his guys have changed the game. Oh, well, let me get to look at the other part here. The other part here says, are they fine, Capo? Any news from CIC Commander-in-Chief? I am ready to take out Commando and go after no pity. Now, I think this one came first before the one I just read. So he says, those guys from the BIRO confirmed the project. The project, ladies and gentlemen, listen to that. I have also received the money from that minister in Yaoundé. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is really, really interesting. Now, let me say here plain and clear, we have not confirmed that these messages are actually coming from Efang and Capo Daniel or the ADF in that matter. But I don't have any reason to doubt it until proven otherwise, because we see the trend is what we already know. Dealing with the BIRO, dealing with the Cameroon ministers. And I'm telling you, one of these days, I'm going to bring you some exclusive revelations talking about collaboration between Cho Ayaba and La République du Cameroon. I'm coming with it. I have a source that you guys won't believe, and the source herself will be on ABC one of these days. And so the reason I brought this here, though I haven't not yet confirmed it, is because I was speaking to my source yesterday. Now, this is not even an Ambazonian. This is not even an African, ladies and gentlemen. But what she was telling me yesterday, relating to Eli Smith and the ADF and the Cameroon government, is exactly what I find in this exchange between Capo Daniel and Efang. So I have no reason to doubt what I see here on this screen, the exchanges here. But let me get back to Barrister Nsoh. Barrister Nsoh, what do you make of this? I believe you have read this, please.
I did. I read the whole totality of what you are reading, Chris. Let me say this. I hope that Commando knows everything that is happening in Mogamo. I hope that Commando would put his boys together to fight, because Efang has an intent to kill Commando. That is, we had known that for quite a while. Number two, we had known that there are ministers in Yaoundé that help. We had known that Cho Ayaba receives arms from Colonel Bankwi, Emile Bankwi, arms coming from La République du Cameroon. We had known that La République BIR have been a fighting force associated with Cho Ayaba's organization, the ADF. They join, whenever there's an operation, you will not know whether this is a B or an ADF fighter. So we had known all that. So whether you doubt the source or not, Chris, that source seems to me credible, because it has revealed what we know already. We know that Cho Ayaba is kidnapping people on the ground and taking money. You read? I don't know whether you are still to read it. There's a place where it says that tell them to pay 10 million francs. Those people who were kidnapped, to pay 10 million francs, and then you send some money to my girlfriend in Nigeria. This and that and that. Look, listen. We know that Cho Ayaba, in connivance with La République du Cameroon, have been kidnapping our people and collecting ransoms. We know that. So all what you see on that thing, on the right up there, is what we know already.
Let me bring in Bishop John to tell us what he has found out about these allegations. Bishop John, please.
Secretary Chris, those allegations, just like you said, they might not be from Efang. I think we have some activists who have actually investigated and said that is true. That it's made up by MKPD or something, what they call the Black Leg Movement of La République. So, but notwithstanding, everything they are saying there is just like acting what has been going on in the background. I have evidence and proof from Bui how the ADF will set up our Ambazonian resistance forces and lead the La République to our guys. It's very evident. What they do, they don't fight, but they will lead La République to our people, and then they will vamoon, and then La République will just take on our people. Sometimes you can even say you are going to do backup with them, but if you are going to do backup with the ADF, know that they are going to sell you out. So I have all proof and evidence that was sent to me from there. And this is what ADF has been doing. I mean, simply ask the question, where has ADF been fighting? You know, Ayaba said from the beginning of this, sometime a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, that he will do whatever to get to Buea, that we will see where we'll fight to go to Buea. When we reach Buea, and then that time we start his own fight, something to that effect. So it seems to me that Ayaba is not planning to fight. He's only wanting that when we win and go to Buea, that's when he will bring his militia now to start causing trouble like South Sudan. But by the grace of God, that is not going to happen in Ambazonia. God, who has ordained this struggle, will make sure we get to Buea and we will have no rival to fight. Some of the boys who are finding out the truth, they are leaving. To be honest with you, Secretary Chris, when people just hear Ambazonia Defense Force, they don't even know the difference that is ADF, it belongs to these. They just know that some, not all, some they are using that name ADF because it's just Ambazonia Defense Force, you know, just like a force. They choose a very good name, so that has really deceived many people. But those who have really been educated and they come to find out that the Ambazonia Defense Force stand with this ADF that is kidnapping people, killing our ARFs and fighting with La République and not fighting the war against La République. Those who really have a heart for this revolution, they leave. They leave and they join the ARF. So that is the truth. And some of them are still there, but God is in charge.
I have a problem.
Well, Bishop John, you seem to have your doubts about the source of that of these messages. However, as I said, one thing struck me in those messages, the connection, the link with Eli Smith. As I just said, I spoke to somebody yesterday. This person is not an Ambazonian, is not even an African, is not even black. This person had an NGO on the ground, and they investigated where some of these arms from the in the hands of the ADF were coming from. And I was shocked. She mentioned Eli Smith as a connection between the Cameroon government and the ADF in the supply of arms. She mentioned Eli Smith. And again, I am struck that Eli Smith is mentioned in this communication. And one of these days, I'm going to bring that lady on here on ABC, and you guys will be shocked. So I will not yet vindicate the ADF from this. I don't know who is informing you, but knowing what I know, I think I will not yet vindicate them.
May I say something, Chris?
Yes, Barrister John, go on, please. You're trying to say something.
Yes. Look, I find it very difficult that Nkonda Titles, who is working together with Ayabacho them for the government, Eli Smith is working for the government. I find it very difficult that Nkonda Titles will write this thing to implicate Eli Smith, to implicate ADF, to implicate those are his partners. You remember Florence Ayafo. Florence Ayafo was killed in Pinyin with the complicity of ADF and Nkonda Titles and all the others. They will not work against each other. That's why I believe in this text, because it has said what we already know. It's not like some new text that they have, some new information in there that this interim government does not know. So the narrative that Nkonda Titles has prepared this, I doubt it very much. But it is in the social media. We have to treat it as it is, because it reveals exactly what the ADF and its acolytes have been doing.
Yeah. Say the Chris.
Bishop John, please.
Yes. Well, Barrister, what you are saying is true. Whatever is in that text is not different from what we know. You know, yes. The ADF, they have used this reconciliation, like we had a leaked audio that came out some few weeks ago, where Efan was pressuring Commando that they must meet. Had Commando ventured to go and meet Efan, that would have been his end, you know? And we've seen in many cases where they have told commanders that come, let's make peace, but as they go out there, that is their end. And some of these commanders who kill other commanders, that's what happened. That's how General Divine of Meme was killed, you know, by a rival commander. They said they wanted to make peace, and he let down his guard, and that's how he died. So these people that are evil, you already know that somebody is evil. You don't take chances. So all those things that are on that text is something that is going on. Like I said, they are just acting what is happening, what is going on, and what we know. And we have warned all Ambazonia restoration forces, please do not fall for that trick. I know that the boys on the ground, sometimes they have camaraderie. They say, oh yes, we are one, we are here together, this and that. When you are beaten once, you are beaten twice, you are beaten 10 times, you should learn. You should learn from that mistake. You should learn, know that this is not good. So let them know this very well. If they want anybody who want to disagree with me, you should show me where ADF is fighting on the ground. That's all. I keep asking this. Where is ADF fighting? All the arms they are taking from La Republique, all our people, what are they doing with that money that they are making from La Republique? So anybody can just listen to that and then make an adjustment.
Bishop John, you deny the source of that of those messages. But
I'm not, Chris, I don't really deny it.
True. For example,
no, let me tell you something, Chris. I am not denying it. I am saying that some activists, we have some trusted activists who have been putting out relevant information. They are saying that that is not, it doesn't appear to come from AFAN or who they say it is, like a cooked up stuff. So that's what I said. Not that I am, in fact, I've actually put out my information in the Defense Department that even if people think that this is not true, they should treat it as true. That's what I have said. It should be treated as coming from them because it is the fact, it's the truth. You know? So, so far as that is concerned, I'm just telling you what these people are saying.
Does it surprise you that it is mentioned, they mentioned in there that lots of the ADF boys have run away to join the Ambazonia Restoration Forces?
It doesn't surprise me because I know of some ADF fighters or who were considered ADF fighters who have left and they are fighting in the Ambazonia Restoration Forces now. So it doesn't surprise me. Yes, anybody who is truly fighting for the independence of Ambazonia will know when they come to discover the real truth what ADF stands for. They cannot be there. They cannot be there. To be honest with you, why are you with the army that is only terrorizing civilians, an army that is only going after another other Ambazonia Restoration Forces, an army that you cannot see, they are not fighting the enemy. They are only playing games. If a true fighter would really want the independence of Southern Cameroon, when they come to the realization that that is where they are, they will not stay in such a group. They will not. So yes, right. I'm not surprised about that, Secretary Chris.
All right.
Because the local government system that we have, this local government system is recruiting ARF and ARF that claim to be from ADF. Like I tell one of it is Gokitunja. There used to be some ARF element in Gokitunja. All of them are ADF. All of them are ARF now in Gokitunja. You know, so there are many counties and local government that used to have some of them who claim to be ADF, but they are all ARFs now. So I'm not surprised about that because the local government system is taking care of the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. When they have problems, when they have sickness, they have wounded. Thank God for the HHS now. That is even going to the extent of taking care of their family and their hotel bills. We are not there yet exactly where we want to be, but we have made tremendous progress in taking care of our own Ambazonia Restoration Forces, and we are only going to get better, and they will be taken good care of after our independence.
All right, all right. Time is fast catching up on us. Let's get to the last item here, Bishop Barrister John. This is what is making the rounds in the social media today, beginning yesterday. This interview with Diodone Esomba. Diodone Esomba. I would like you to listen a little bit, and then I will paraphrase it in the English language. So let's listen to it a little bit, please. Oh, what's going on here?
À cette crise anglophone-là, sauf qu'aujourd'hui, violemment les populations là-bas, est-ce que dans cet état d'esprit-là, on peut parler du dialogue?
Vous les traitez de terroristes et tout ça, vous êtes qui?
Vous pensez qu'ils ne le sont pas?
Procureur.
Vous pensez qu'ils ne le sont pas?
Non, j'ai dit non. Il y a 4 ans, j'ai failli être enterré par vous, mes frères petits. Quand je vous ai dit que la nation anglophone, c'est une affaire de 40 ans et que vous ne pouvez pas les battre, je l'ai dit et je l'ai redit. À ce moment, ils n'avaient que des machettes. J'ai été interpellé par la police, j'ai été harcelé par mes frères. Dans ce studio, quelqu'un m'a parlé de l'État westphalien qui allait mater. Je vous ai dit, vous ne pouvez pas. Le Cameroun, vous vous rappelez, le Cameroun unitaire n'a pas les moyens politiques, économiques, financiers, diplomatiques, médiatiques et stratégiques pour venir à bout de la session anglophone. C'est impossible.
Pourquoi?
Je l'ai dit depuis 4 ans et dès le départ, avant quand les gars n'avaient que des pierres.
Pourquoi le Cameroun?
Et je vous ai dit que
le Cameroun qui est un pays
si vous persistez dans l'État unitaire, Les Zimbabwe vont vous battre à pleine couture et ils vont gagner.
On ne va pas dire ça sur le plateau, Dieu seulement.
Non, attendez. Non,
je voudrais qu'on reste rationnel.
Je dis, non, je suis rassuré. Je suis d'ailleurs le seul rassuré puisque ayant été la seule personne, le seul anglophone à avoir anticipé ce qui arrive.
All right, all right. Barrister John, both of you know that I have really no knowledge of French.
Yes.
But that was Dieudonné Isomba yesterday. The young presenter there, had posed a question to Dieudonné Isomba. Let me see, I can get that translation here. Let me see, I can find it. Okay, the young presenter there had asked Dieudonné Isomba. A grand dialogue was organized to solve the so-called Anglophone crisis. At the camp, secessionists are committing numerous atrocities. Who are we going to dialogue with? Of course, we are very much familiar to this question. A lot of people ask this question all the time. So he asked, who are we going to dialogue with? And this is the response from Dieudonné Isomba. I love it. He says, how dare you call them terrorists? Are you a judge? 4 years ago, I was almost buried by my Betty brothers when I said that the Anglophone cause was more than 40 years running and that you can't defeat them. I said so, and I still repeat it now. At that moment, they only had machetes. The police arrested and maltreated me. My brothers turned their backs on me in this same studio. Someone, that is Vision 4 TV, someone told me of some state of Israel that crossed insurgent. I told you that you can't. The state of Cameroon does not have the political will, the media, the diplomacy, the finances, and strategic capabilities to overcome the Anglophone uprising. It is just impossible. I said it 4 years ago when they still had stones. That if you insist on the unitary state, the Amba boys will beat you hands down. I don't want to go further. I think most of us have read this. But this is one guy who has remained very, very consistent over there in La République du Cameroon, telling them from day number one, you have to negotiate. You have to talk. You have to sit down and negotiate with these people. But these people remain dumb. I think Dieudonné Isomba, even though I really don't agree with his prescription of some federation or confederation, but he remained one person across the Mongol who continue to speak truth to power. I wish they listen to him. Barrister John.
Yes, he is not the only Chris. There is a former governor Amba Machue who from the beginning wrote a thesis and alluded to the line of thinking of Isomba. And somewhere along the line, Amba Machue was muscled out. But Dieudonné Isomba is from the ruling tribe, and he has stuck to his guns. He is now telling them that I told you so. I told you so. And what is happening now, Chris? La République is going to run away. I don't see any other way. We are no longer wanting them to come to the negotiating table. If they can't find, we are no longer. They will have to bring us to the table, not us bringing them, because the game has changed. I think my good friend Bishop John will concur with me that the game has changed drastically on the ground, and La République is split-footed. It's split-footed. And Dieudonné Isomba is telling the whole Francophone populace that I told you so. He came short of saying that they have defeated you. But he says they will defeat you if you continue on that line. And that you can never, never, never win that war. He has repeated that for 4 years. For 4 years. Abu Mature started with him. He wrote a thesis once, and they muscled him, and he chickened out. But Jordan Somba has stuck to his guns, and I don't agree with his federation stand or confederation stand because that's not our agenda. We cannot lose more than 20,000 people, burn all lost 450 villages, lost so many of our economic live wire, lost everything, only to get federation. Somebody I know that he knows that we will not accept. I think
his was relevant from the onset, that is, assuming they had listened to him. But
yes.
they didn't listen to him. And to continue to beat Federation and Confederation, the Nick Williams, their prescription.
Yes.
I think we've gone past that. But again, I really appreciate the candor in that man. Bishop John, please.
I do, please. I do.
Yes.
I do.
Bishop John, Chris, Barrister have said it, but this is what I want to say. If somebody can translate what I want to say in French and send it to the Cameroonese or the La République agents and La République military that are out there, let me tell them this. La République military cannot defeat the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. They will never. Now.
Oh, it's frozen. Oh, it's frozen.
Yeah, Bishop John. Barrister John, go on if you have a point in there.
Yes,
why?
I was going to say that the game is over. It's not that they will defeat or they will not defeat. The game is over, Chris. The game is over.
I have a strong feeling. I have a very strong feeling, Barrister John.
There's a debate right now in La République du Cameroon. I have my sources. There's a debate right now. Do we withdraw or do we go rush to the negotiating table and negotiate ceasefire? Because soldiers are dying. And I just read a small feed, I don't know how authentic it is, that soldiers, some young soldiers in Kutaba have been detained in the barracks, in the prison in the barracks because they refuse to be deployed to the northwest and southwest, what they call northwest and southwest. That is in Ambazonia. They refuse to be deployed, and they said the colonel is sitting in the office and eating. He should go with them. You see, the game is over, Chris. The army is deserting them. The boys are running away because they are dying in their numbers. You see, Operation Lava Storm and Popcorn has changed the narrative on the ground. And these people, if they stay one more month, they will lose almost 3/4 of their army. They better think twice. It is too early. It is very good for them now to leave. And we are not begging them to come to the table. They will have to bring us to the table.
I really have a strong feeling, a very strong feeling that after the outing of Dieudonné Isomba yesterday, they would have to sit down and really do a serious rethink of what they are trying to achieve here, because they are not going to achieve anything. And in their minds, they should know that continuing to kill people, hoping that they attain a victory, is not going to happen. In fact, we are where we are today because of the outrage and the anger that people are getting after seeing their brothers, their sisters, their parents slaughtered. And they are saying, you know what? This is not the time to surrender. After you kill my brother, you kill my mother, you kill my son, I'm not going to give up now. What am I going to give up for? So I think something is cooking in Etudi right now that don't be surprised. In the next few months, I don't know whether it can go up to 2 months, you will hear something.
Chris, you know that it is very surprising that the general in charge of all of the northern zone in Kabale had a BBC interview, and he said they have lost. They are losing the war because their boys can no longer take instructions. It is unacceptable that a professional army will be treated this way. They kill our people and collect weapons. And so he said that on BBC. It is not something the feed is still there. He said it. And if a general can come out and say that, you know that he is calling for surrender. And the hawks in Yaoundé, because they have an interest to protect, I don't know whether they will listen. I would advise them to start running because the Cameroon army will not continue to listen to them. They will. They have another thing is, Chris. They are also afraid that the boys will turn the young soldiers will turn their guns against them. So,
I got disconnected there.
You are disconnected.
Yes, I got.
Okay.
My network
Bishop
was
John, before I
disconnected.
come to you, I just wanted to say that I think what we are seeing, ladies and gentlemen, speak to the relevance of our draft that is coming up.
Oh, yes.
I think that seeing what we are seeing over there in La République du Cameroon, we have a challenge to raise at least $2.5 million in this draft to send a message to La République. We are ready. And we're going to be doing this every year until we get to the end, until this war is over, until our flag is permanently erected in Boya. Let this be a challenge to every Ambazonian out there. I really want to appeal to all of you standing on the fences. Please, please, let us come together and draft and draft and draft until La République du Cameroon realize we're not joking. We are not joking. They thought by now we would have surrendered. No, we're gaining momentum day in, day out, and this draft should send a strong message to them. Bishop John, please. And Bishop John, before you come on, I just want to remind the audience, I'm going to be opening the phone lines to take a few phone calls. Time is fast catching up on us. Bishop John, go on, please.
Yes, I think what I was saying is that La République should know that they cannot win this war. What they were not able to do for 2 weeks, they have not been able to do for 4 years. And they will 10 years' time. And what we have not even reached 50% of our potential that we are getting to. And we are progressing. And I was saying that a time is coming. Right now, it's Le Français that is swallowing the La République people. Le Français is swallowing them. But a time is going to come when the earth is going to start swallowing La République soldiers. They have a fun of going into the forest and chasing out our ARF and killing our civilians. But a moment is coming as the Ambazonian Restoration Forces are getting into a different level and a different dimension of this war, that the earth will start eating up La République people and will start eating up their vehicles. You will see. That moment is coming. So I just want to echo that we should support this draft, like Secretary Chris have said, not only pledges, but we should actually give our money, because this is what is going to help us and help the ARF to change the game on the ground and to continue to progress, because we are entering into serious research and development in depending on our own natural resources for this war, so that we don't depend on Nigeria or any other place for resources, because La République is working with their partners to block all these areas. We don't depend on them for this. So please draft and draft.
All right, thank you.
Our boys need your support
Let's get
for us
to
to
our
continue
first
to win this
caller
war.
here. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. This is Florence calling from UK.
Florence calling from the UK. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing fine, my dear brother.
Thank you. What do you have
I
in
was
your mind?
itchy to call. I'll make a talk for Pidgin.
Okay.
I'll be the itchy for call because I see some people, they try to defend this post out here. I don't know why we Southern Cameroonians like to drink different people their paracetamol. Up to now, if they have not debunked that, it means that they are guilty as charged.
Okay.
If we stand to defend them, saying that, oh, it is a scam, what is our own? Why have they not defended themselves up to now? Why are we defending for them?
Right.
Good point.
I have proof. There are ADF abandoned fighters in Bamenda.
Okay.
Just kidnapping to survive. They tell me, say, they kidnap for survive. I don't try to work with them for background small.
Okay.
This boy then they suffer, Secretary Chris, where ADF don't go gather them. They keep them for Bamenda. They need to do nothing, and they turn for the kidnap. No be a bad picking them. This boy they need be bad picking them, but ADF don't turn them to be waiting they be, because they don't get money for job. Secondly, they help La Republic soldier them for run. When they want run, they give them small money, and then give them stick them. Where
so
people they don't forget they try to defend.
So you talk say the ADF fighter that they help other public soldiers for run.
For run, yes. When they want run, they take their gun. Maybe they sell them very cheap for be able, and then they show them way for run go Nigeria.
Okay.
If they no be for Shidong for Cameroon, then they show them way for run, and then they sell their gun them for very cheap price for run. And so we see some gullible Southern Cameroon and out here, they work at defense, say that post is a scam. Whether not scam or not, what it be a problem inside? The scam come out for your name. Why you no leave and make the person way come out for your name, me come out defend? Up to now, none of them never defend. If after this they want defend, then all of them are thief people. They don't defend that thing since morning. They define how we can defend themselves. We did it. They defend for their drink their paracetamol. Are we cursed?
Right. Thank you.
Why we should not inside forum they argue say that the post be fake. Leave me they can't talk say be fake now. Right. But maybe we do something, Chris. I want to make Amba and do something, because as Bishop John don't talk, this speaking them, they don't know the difference between ARFs and ADF, because they don't know say ADF like a government. So when you want to ask them question, they don't know for answer. I talk say if this war end tomorrow, who will show you say this will be the fight? See, they don't know, and truly they don't know. And ADF don't turn this boy, they will be bad picking them. And God will punish all of them.
All right, thank you for the call. I give Bishop John a comment on that, please, quickly. I think Bishop John is frozen,
yes,
but Bishop John, go on, please. I see you smiling there. It's like you have something to say there.
Yes, the lady has spoken. She has taken my view. This question of always defending a posting that is fake and so on and so forth is getting to my nerves. Because if you read all what you were reading, Chris, everything in there we already know. We know that FN wants to kill Commando. That is a fact. We know that the B have been fighting along with ADF fighters in Batibo, that in Mogamo. That we know. We know that Ayabacho has been kidnapping people and they are collecting money and selling some to him. We know that already. So what is it in that post that people are saying that it is put up by Nkonda titles? Ellie Smith is the go between ADF and the La Republique forces. In fact, Colonel Bankwi is the greatest supplier of arms to the ADF people. We know that. So what is the lady is exactly correct. We should be very careful when we debunk stories on the media. Your microphone, Chris.
Okay, let's get to the next. Yes. Let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening once more again.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from the Mezam County, specifically in Mancon.
Okay.
Yeah, what I want to say is that I'm very, very delighted that the ABC TV and the interim government are open to all kinds of people. That is, it shows state of democracy. It makes the international community to understand that You people are ready to face challenges that Republic escaped from. So, in fact, that point you brought so Foncha there. From what we've followed, if somebody is not a doom or a fool, we really believe we have exposed him 100%. From my own experience, from what I've heard him say, he has not been answering any question from you. He has been taking you up and down, going left and right, and so on. There are a series of questions that you ought to have asked him. We had been once a country, both the south, the northern zone and the southern zone, from 1954 to 1961. Secondly, he made a statement at the UN how they will fight until the last person. What happened? Did he not know from the beginning that the northern zone was to involve? Were he by then fighting only for the southern zone? He is an imbecile and at the same time a cankerlad, as we call in English. See, I appreciate you very much, Secretary Chris. You are a man fearless. You are a man courageous. You are a man ready to welcome all kinds of person who is ever ready to come and speak the truth and challenge you. You are ready to welcome him, and that is to tell the international community that you people are really the guys to govern the people. He should be very stupid because I think he followed what Jordan Suma said. If Jordan Suma is saying that La Republic can win the war, who is he referring to fighting the war? He is referring to the interim government. He is not aware of the fact. So there are many things to ask Foncha. He is a lost man. He is an outcast. He has failed. He has discovered that he can't do anything. He embezzled money and escaped. So please, you should hold on, calling such calling such people to come up to, in fact, answer. Let the people on ground zero and international community understand that you people are on the right track. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate your call. All right. Let's get to the next caller here. Ground zero. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you turn down the volume of your set, please?
Yeah, the volume of my set is turned down already.
All right. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the northern zone.
All right. And what is in your mind?
I want to first and foremost appreciate you for the wonderful work you're doing for this revolution. In fact, we get excited each time we see you on the screen. There is hope. I want to thank Bishop, want to thank Foncha Nsoh. They are wonderful people. I heard that idiot said Barrister Foncha Nsoh is a lawyer. I wonder where he was when Foncha Nsoh was in Cameroon fighting. In fact, I feared for his life. He's a brave man. In fact, there are no two people like him. When I watched Mr. Foncha speak the way he did, I thought I was seeing a lunatic because he doesn't seem to understand what is actually happening, in this country. But there are too many things to say. There is one thing I know, that God is the champion of this revolution, and that no weapon formed against this revolution can prosper. God is merely sealing these people because he knows that they are going to be problematic when we arrive here. So he is sealing them, he is exposing them. So we want to thank you. I want to speak just like my predecessor said. He said it is good that you bring this kind of people. We are waiting for Nick Santos. We are waiting for all those people. Please bring them. We really wanted that you should open the line so that we talk to him directly. I think he would have left that place without finishing this program. So once more, we want to thank you people. Remain blessed.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You have a great day. Barrister John, go ahead. I know you got something to say there.
No, I have nothing to say other than to say I thank the caller for observing me while in ground zero and here now. Thank you.
All right, let's get to the next caller here. All right. Hello, sir, Mr. UN.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, I try plenty thank you for Power Barrister Fru Johnson, Bishop John, and all of them for Stadium Day. And like we don't play with Jordan, if somebody talk with the year how well Republic people they talk. Me Ambazona people they know say no be not time for we for celebrate this because La Republic now a virus. The only way for treat a virus now for they complete the treatment for the antibiotics where they give you. So we need to continue for draft and do exactly what the way we don't do in La Republic don't start cry now. Now we me where I know La Republic people that television channel na vision for card and for them a CPDM channel. The fact say they leave Jordan so by it talk all thing them it can't mention about confederation where in the position where we see person like Nick Ngwanyam. They can't talk for outside them. We will be very careful because some of our own people where they be weak-minded, they will start to talk say, oh, if they even give confederation, we take them back. If they get to know say La Republic is to change anything like they change the first federation and whatsoever. So now time where we get for join together and see people like Foncha and the rest, wife Francophone and they cry, they instead can they console them. And Secretary, that thing where you bring Foncha for day, he can't talk something for day. Where he talks, you know, one state where Southern Cameroon will be together with, we will be together like we will be. That notion is still be among some people that amongst us. You remember, I tell you, they want to play ball for this Nations Cup, where they want to play Nations Cup. Some information will come up for social media where plenty of people they say they must divide Amazon and only into two, not into three. Otherwise, back we will do so. So we need now for strengthening our position and all these kind of things. Thank you. Now the only thing I want to talk that.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It is very important that we should know that it doesn't matter what somebody sits on television over there in La Republic and say. And one thing that should settle down our mind is that La Republic doesn't have any right to decide what we become. No, it has to be decided between us. Am I making a mistake here, Barrister John?
No,
we don't have any right to decide for us what we become. So if anybody thinks, oh, because somebody is talking confederation and federation, it is okay, that means we are merely waiting for them to tell us what we should be. It's not going to happen anymore. Barrister John, please.
Yes, we are the people to decide what happens to us. And we have already decided that we are restoring our independence and our sovereignty. It was done in 2017, and we are fighting now to get these occupiers out of our territory. It is not a question of who, where, when, and how. We have restored our sovereignty and our independence. No two countries in the world have independence twice. Let people like Foncha who are parading this thing about Northwest, Southwest, and I cannot be in the same place with Bamenda people and all that stuff. That is a narrative that La Republic has used over the years, and people like Foncha who are now caught in the web, they don't know where to go, left and right, they don't know where to go. Now they are hanging on divide and rule. It will not work.
All right, let's get to the next caller here. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Mejam County.
All right, thanks for the call. What is in your mind?
Let me first of all greet Barrister Fu and Bishop. Now, I thank you very much for bringing it in short Foncha. These are the category of people that you should be bringing them now so that we begin to get the enablers and let them get all what you've interviewed him, especially the statement he made by castigating the Northwesterners. That particular statement alone, take it to the bank.
Oh, yeah, he has exposed himself for who he really is.
It is that statement, it is that statement alone that has exposed him, and that statement alone will be the statement to put him into trouble. put that particular area, carve it and keep it into the bank. But what it has meant, because normally, from 1954, as the Southern Cameroon left Enugu, there had been nothing like Northwest where they left the place like Southern Cameroon, and on the previous they went on previous like Southern Cameroon, and no nonsense talk like that of Nsoh Foncha. Please keep it to the bank, and let's keep on waiting for him. That particular thing will put him into trouble, and the line of people that he is with them, he has exposed that his group he called whatever, he has exposed that group completely, and then if he alone can be talking about the Northwest region, then it is the whole group talking about the Northwest region, and it is the whole group bringing that segregation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That is very well put. Very, very well put. And that was exactly the reason that is exactly the reason we bring on some of these people so they can expose themselves as this guy has done today. Barrister John, please, if you have a comment,
yes,
there,
I concur that we should bring Wu Santos. Wu Santos should come so that we march on him. We want to expose them so that they have nowhere to go, neither in the Republic or Ambazonia. Because right now, Pusu Foncha is of no use to La Republic, and Wu Santos is of no use to La Republic. So what are they going to do?
Of course, he is of no use to La Republic, and neither is he of any use to Ambazonia. If he ever had any political dreams, aspirations, they are dead from today.
They are lucky that they are.
Hello, sir.
Some of them are American citizens.
Good evening. My name is Cyprian. I'm calling from Germany.
Okay, sir. Thanks for the call. What is in your mind, sir?
Yes, I followed the show. I really admired it. Some people, they are against the fact that you brought Nsoh Foncha to the national TV, but for the fact that you brought him, it is very important because it showed from every indication, just the way he was answering the question, it showed that he's a monumental liar. He could not even express himself. He could not even answer the question directly. He just wanted to interrupt you when you are talking. He was just saying things randomly. He was not in order. It is a proof to Ambazonia that man is a big liar. I remember when he was working with Nsoh Foncha and with this guy, they call Yufu Sango.
Yes.
Yufu Sango. Those are people who took money from the then defense team that they were going to send to fighters, and they would take like $25,000 and they would send maybe 18,000 CFA to General Nambere and tell him that the government has not given them any money, that this money comes from their own pocket to help them. Can you imagine? After collecting such a huge sum from the government, it is then when activists started coming online, the activists now they started putting their WhatsApp number on air that people could contact them. That's how those fighters, they contacted the activists, and the activists now they contacted the government because this guy never wanted to give the general's number directly to the government. So I remember all of this story. Nsoh Foncha is a big thief from Kumba. I know him personally. He's a big thief from Kumba. So Ambazonian should not believe those type of people. And I thank Barrister Fu. I thank John Egewa, our Minister of Defense. And God bless all of you. And I'm asking Ambazonian that this is the moment for drafting. We should draft like never before. La Republic is bleeding. We have to bleed them to the gate of hell.
Thank you for the call. All right. I will take the very last caller for tonight, and we will call it a day. Hello, sir.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. But I know where you are calling from, please.
Yeah, I'm calling from Finland, Helsinki.
All right. What is your contribution?
Yeah, I would like to talk about this Nsoh Foncha guy. Thank you for bringing him on your platform. His presence on the platform illustrates the kind of country we are anticipating to have in the future. This Nsoh Foncha, this Nsoh Foncha, na thief man, big thief man. I have video clips in which when he just created the so-called Africa Coalition, whatever, he was telling some people online that he will be campaigning to become president of Cameroon. He said so many things, like he talked plenty things for the video where if you see today they go out, they go talk where they talk about Equinox, you get for no say the guy has been bought over, not even bought over, he not even gave you La Republic. Now people them were inside La Republic where when they you know say they enter inside La Republic government, they get spoiled and they when they don't tell you say go they go create divide and rule because he not give you La Republic, he not give you so we so they say you go to say no one bamenda them. See one always always them you just create confusion. But the thing is, it be very small, like a midget. You know even get I don't know what I even move some person. All man knows that chief man. The money take about Amazonian people, them he bring them back. Secondly, I want to talk about this Jordan Isomba guy. All thing with that man talk, there is one thing that struck me. I don't even think sometimes, but he talks say Amazonians are already in a position of strength, and that is very, very correct. Would they in a position of strength? Any country where you go to war, if that war be unpopular domestically, you see inside La Republic, people don't already start the grumble left and right. Bars they say no one war, all man say no one war. But the government go internationally, the war be unpopular. People they don't want them. No say La Republic be defeated. And I call Ambazonia, me they stand strong. This is the moment. God we don't create this time. We don't be long time. We don't be for slavery. And now is the time for us to take what like rightfully belongs to us. The last thing I want to talk about this ATF. The chat where you show him, I don't believe him, but I know say ATF they fit do him. I know say that thing way they fit do him. So the fact says some person talks the fact say no I can talk assassin on and get him. It means say they know where to the pass. The only thing I want to see Ambazonian fighter when they tell you because you cannot be a fighter on the ground. You say be independent. No, somebody lives somewhere who takes care of you, and when you get problem, run to that person. If this fighter they know you hear one and they give an order, I don't know who they want to take order for. Any fighter where they for them do not have anything to do with ATF. Look at FEMA. If FEMA shall begin anything for doing with ATF, they will talk to you where FEMA shall not take again. And they send this special message to all fighters the way they dip down. We know what to say when I go key ATF. When I leave them, if they fight me, they begin fight their own too. Will the fight our own for this side, but they have nothing to do with them because we don't get to the stage where they think the way they don't do and we don't have show we with the question mark there for their head, Ebenezer Akwanga, all them question mark there for their head. So me will fight them when they do IG. Me they concentrate. We are going to do what we can do to sustain them. If the age they don't want to fight, me they should know we are here. But thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. With that, we call it for the day. Barrister John, I will come back to you for the last word for the night.
Well, it has been a very fruitful evening. Chris, I'd like to thank you, like others, for bringing Nsoh Foncha. He has revealed to us what a thief he is, what a traitor he is. And like I said before, he's going to be prosecuted unless he doesn't come back to Ambazonia. Let him just roll out Ambazonia and stay in America. If he comes back, he is a prisoner. And he may be... Look, people like this are usually sentenced to death for treason. In the United States, you cannot do this type of thing. Cross over to the enemy? No. So Foncha, not only that he has stolen our money, he ran away and crossed over to the enemy to sell us. Now, he must be prosecuted. Thank you very much for inviting me once more. It has been a very fruitful evening.
All right, thank you, Barrister John. It was a privilege to have you back. I look forward to having you again. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the night. I hope that this has been illuminating. Now, before I go, I just want to remind you again that we have all the routes leading to Bui coming this weekend. Before the end of the week, I will be having a Bui team here. Let them give us all their payment information. Let us drive for Bui warriors who have kept us very, very proud. So please, again, look out for Bui County coming up at the weekend. I will be back here on Wednesday with a very important broadcast that I want to believe you will all tune in. Thank you for being with me today, and thank you for the panelists. Nsoh Foncha, it was a pleasure to have you here. Bishop John and Barrister John, thank you all for being part of the broadcast. And God bless all of you out there, and good night.
Has your bank turned you down for a business loan? Even if you have low, bad, or no credit, our network of lenders are willing to grant you a business loan. It is guaranteed. Money to start a new business, increase your business capital, or refinance a current business. Funding Capital Grid is your answer. We've got you when your bank rejects you. We will offer you from $10,000 to $100 million in secured and unsecured loans. We will clean your credit within the shortest possible time. We also finance all property types: multifamily, office, retail, owner-occupied, self-storage, hotels, industrial, and medical. We will also finance equipment like tow trucks, office furniture, dump trucks, cargo trucks, and Caterpillars. Contact us now at office 800-966-1193, mobile 443-760-5059, fax 202-521-3950, email info@fundingcapitalgrid.com, web www.fundingcapitalgrid.com.
Start a new career as a Linux system administrator with an average salary of $80,000 to $120,000 a year. Dynamic Tech Academy has transformed many lives for the better through our 6-month Linux program. We are so excited to announce that we are adding DevOps course and Red Hat certification at no charge, which will make students more competitive. Over 80% of our students have no prior IT background, yet vast majority of alumni land jobs in 3 to 6 months after they start applying. Our ultimate goal is to reach 100% student employment, so we work with every student until he or she gets a job. Upon successful completion of the course, we will provide resume building, interview preparation, and job placement assistance. With the Linux course, you get more than 300 hours of in-depth training, and you get to learn from experienced instructors. By the end of the program, our students can be Red Hat certified if they choose. Our alumni work in companies, both government and private companies in the USA, Canada, and even Europe. Want to learn more about the program? You can contact us at info@dynamicdmv.com, or you can call us at 240-604-9505, or you can call us at 240-423-7865. And you can also visit us at www.dynamictechdmv.com. If you are interested in online classes, please register on our website. That's once again www.dynamictechdmv.com.
Amo.